Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy M.I.A over here at Bulldog Trading, and today we're going to be talking about what a SPAC is. But before we get started, just remember we are live 24/7, which means we're live right now over at Bulldog Trading. So when you're done with this, get over there and give us a like. But for now, let's dig right into this. So what is a SPAC, you ask? SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company. Now, this is a company that's created solely to merge or acquire another business and take it public. And this is a faster alternative to an initial public offering. In an initial public offering, what you have is a company who creates shares, sells them to the public, whether institutionally or through retail. That generates money for the company. Another way that they do that is through a direct offering. A direct offering is when shares that already exist are put into the market, sold, typically by executives involved in the company, and that's how capital is raised. Okay, the thing that comes with a traditional IPO is there's a lot of underlying costs and a lot of time that goes into it. So a non-traditional way that helps companies go public is through a SPAC. Okay, so what we have is a SPAC will have an IPO, okay, but there'll be no company in mind. This is just a blank check acquisition company that you're kind of betting on. And this is where it says investors essentially write blank checks to SPACs, which can take up to 2 years for them to target and then buy another firm or merge with it. So today we're going to look at 6 examples of SPACs that are in kind of different stages of the game. So we're going to start out with APPH. Okay, so looking at this, so back here you'll see this is when the original IPO for the SPAC took place on 6/15. Now you see minimal trading, minimal movement, which is typical. Now here you see on 9/29, this is when the merger was announced. So this will be your first catalyst. We see it jump up slightly here. So now you have a target. So now Novus Capital is going to buy or merge with APPH. Okay, so now we know that. So now over here, now we start to see catalysts for the actual company, APPH, come in. Now at this point, you have to remember, nothing is still guaranteed. Okay, so we have catalysts here and here based on that. Now February 1st is when the merger actually closes and the ticker changes to APPH. We see that right in here. We see this huge jump. So this is when the merger got completed. Ticker symbol changed. SPAC is essentially complete. Now we can look at this. This isn't really relevant to what we're doing, but I just wanted to show you guys a few longer terms. Now this is where the merger completed. This was in February of last year, and we can see where the stock's gone from there. So now another one around the same time frame that we're going to look at is Beachbody. Okay, so Beachbody had the same type of thing back on January 15th. It had its SPAC IPO, which is different from your traditional IPOs, but nonetheless, it is still an IPO. This is what makes the company public. Okay, now this happened on the 15th. Merger was announced with Beachbody from Forest Road Acquisitions on February 10th. So we look at that right here. We see a big gap up on the initial announcement. Okay, that's February 10th. Then you start to see some Beachbody news. Then maybe you've seen some negative Beachbody news. So then we traded sideways for a couple months here, leading right up into the merger date. Okay, so then 6/28, we see a little bit of run up, little bit of run up, little bit of run up. 6/28 is when the merger is completed. Ticker symbols changed. We see some gains, then we see it back come down to downtrend. And again, this longer term kind of data is just kind of to show you the whole process. Okay, so now what we're going to get into is ones that just closed. Okay, so we're going to look at Silver Box Engaged Acquisitions, which is now Black Rifle Coffee. This one had the same thing. Okay, initial IPO back on April 30th. And typically these take place at the $10 level. We've seen it trade sideways all the way up until November 2nd. And then on November 2nd, we had the announcement that it would be merging with Black Rifle Coffee to bring that public. Okay, we see the big gap up on that news. Then we see it trade sideways until the acquisition actually becomes finalized, which we see on 2/11. Okay, so right here, 2/11 happens. We see this major increase here. Okay, so we see that bump up, finished at 30% gains for the day that the ticker changed. 210 on February 2nd, not February 11th. Okay, so we've seen a big gain, and now we still see that we've seen that run up the rest of last week. So we have another one that's in the same boat as Black Rifle Coffee, and this is ISPO, Inspirato Incorporated, that was formerly Thayer Ventures. Okay, the only difference with this one is we didn't see any catalyst when it was announced. Okay, let's see. It initially IPO'd all the way back here on February 9th. Okay, and then on June 30th, the merger was announced. So June 30th, not really much action based on the announcement. Not like we've seen with Black Rifle Coffee. Okay, so zooming out. Now here, we see exactly the same kind of concept we seen on the 14th. Was the first day with the ticker change to ISPO. Basically completing the merger, and it sent it up 16.5%, and then we've seen it just run wild the rest of the week, and that's kind of where we're at now. So these are recently finalized mergers. One that had a little bit of hype behind it, and then another that we didn't see any reaction until the actual merger. So that leads us to our two SPACs that are kind of in play now, waiting to finalize a merger. So we'll start with CFVI. Okay, and CFVI, same MO, right? We've seen the initial IPO. Then we see it trade sideways around the 10,963. It hit here, but basically staying pretty sideways until we get to December 1st. In the after hours, the merger with Rumble was announced, and then followed that up on December 2nd. We've seen an 8.5% gain, and now we've seen it been running now on Rumble News. Before that, it was just a blank check company. Now we're seeing it run on the expectations of a finalized merger. Now, again, you notice we still trade under the ticker symbol CFVI, so the merger has not yet been complete. And that leads us to our last one, which is Digital World Acquisition Corp. And we see the same thing play out here. Initial IPO comes out. Then we see 10/20, October 20th, in the after hours it comes out that they would be merging with Trump Media to form Truth Social. And we've seen a tremendous 356.83% gains off of that news. And then again, it's continuing to kind of run on Truth Social news now. But again, this merger is not complete, and it's still kind of up in the air. So we will see where that goes from here. And guys, that's it for today. That was just a quick video to kind of try to explain to you guys what these SPACs are all about and how the process starts from beginning to end. So I hope this was helpful. Please leave us a like, hit that subscribe button, and again, be sure to check us out over at Bulldog Trading, where we are live 24/7. It is stocks by day, crypto by night, all day. Thanks, guys.